I am going to go back to my botanical journal and I'm going to do a few more color swatches right here. These are really, really interesting. I want to use a bit more water. It's so therapeutic. This is beautiful blush skin or Caucasian skin color. I mean, how pretty. That would make a beautiful blush color. So this has been now mixed with the transparent red deep and burnt sienna. Okay, on to the next color. So we're going to mix the yellow, and this is where usually the blue sits, but we have burnt sienna, of course. So let's do that. I'm expecting something milky and creamy. This color is not powerful, so you know you don't kind of need too much of the other, so the yellow, to make sure it's in the right. Yeah, in fact the yellow was way too strong, so we now have like a ochre type of a color, but I'd like more of burnt sienna. There's too much opacity in the Turner's yellows, so it's quite difficult to bring out more of the burnt sienna. So what I would suggest is that you then need the tiniest amount of the, now this is more like it, it's like a latte coffee type of a color. It needs a lot more water because we have just too much pigment in here. Yeah, this is very much yellow ochre color. Which often is used in color mixes. I think one of the artists used it with opera pink to create skin tones. So there you go. Sometimes you also need to wait until it dries so that you can see if there's any granulation that comes through, because burnt sienna does granulate. And it can then happen to the secondaries that you have mixed with it. So on each side there's a bit of granulation here, but not too much. Okay, so after I've done something like this, what I tend to do is I tend to look at the colors, at the secondary colors, and pick sort of colors that I find interesting. So in this case, definitely this was an interesting because it separated and it created these sort of lovely color separations, and that's quite unusual. So it's not something I would be able to find out of a tube. I found this color to be also very, very beautiful. And so in the previous example, I have mixed skin tones here, but I think today I am going to mix more of like blush tone or lip colors, something like that. I think I will start with this color here and see where it takes us. So for that we will need this element of the stamp set.
It's easy to speak out about the way I live, but it's a 24-karat dream. No supermodel in my dirty jeans, but in my 24 inches heels. I am not pretending, I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. They're calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman. It's trouble in your mind how I spend my time, but it's a 24-hour streak. Wasting all your thoughts just to criticize, but there are plenty more ways to think. I am not pretending, I'm born like this, a game for the reckless. It's so extreme and I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. They're calling me a mad woman, mad woman, mad woman. Calling me a mad woman, mad woman. No, I don't really care, I don't really care, yeah. 'Cause boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman. Don't be such a stranger, tell me how you're feeling. You know I don't have to live inside your frames, boy. It's such a funny way to tell me what you search in life. Well, I'm a mad woman, sorry I don't compromise. Mad woman, mad woman. Keep calling me a mad woman. Boy, it's none of your business if I'm a mad woman.
Okay, so I thought about it and I think I'm going to do a skin color mix and also a lip color mix. So in that case, I'll leave this for another occasion and I will mix this color for the lip and then this color for skin. I just want to see more variety of it, so that's what I will do. Now I need a mixing dish. Also, I just don't want to, you know, waste all this beautiful color there, so that's why I'm going to do that color instead of the other one. Just going to clean one of my mixing dishes. You'll never find clean mixing dishes in my studio because I just don't like getting rid of colors if I really don't have to. So I have little mixes in every little dish, so that's just me. Okay, let's start. Where was it? So this was the transparent red deep and it was burnt sienna. So we're going to see how burnt sienna swings both ways, because obviously we're going to mix these two colors, the secondaries on each end. And remember that what we have learned is that burnt sienna, this particular one, is quite a, you know, it's the opposite of being dominant. It's quite submissive, so we just need very little of the other color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add burnt sienna on this end at its darkest, or yeah, it's kind of a very creamy, dense mix. And I'm going to do the same with transparent red deep. Look at that beauty. Honestly, what you could do is you could actually stamp another one of those if you have a different format of a sketchbook, and you could create a 10 swatch, because sometimes I find that I want to see more than 5. I want to see these colors with more water, less water, etc. So this is just a very simple way of starting mixing these colors, but in reality, so what we're going to do now is add a little bit of burnt sienna into this red deep, and then we get to this color. Because we're starting at the top, we need more of this color and less of this color, and as we get to the middle, it should be like a 50-50 ratio, ideally. So let's mix this color, add a bit more water. So that should be our 50-50. Actually came out more red. So it's not 50-50. Let's add more burnt sienna. That's it. Still looks a bit more too red. And then it's going to be mostly burnt sienna with just a touch of that red deep. So I'll use this mix as my middle point. And I will add a little bit more of the Turner's yellow. In fact, first I'm just going to swatch it at the top. You may want to also create a bit of a gradient just to see how the color looks when it's got less water in there. That would give you more insight, and that way you get more diversity of the color in one swatch. So like that, for instance. I could have done it here, but it's going to be too late now. And then we're going to add a bit of this yellow onto this mix here. And that has created a different color. So there you go. I'll try lifting it a little bit. This Turner's yellow doesn't like to be lifted. It seems to be quite staining. And then on the other end, we'll do the same with burnt sienna. Like so. And then take a bit more of it and find another edge and that's our mix. There we go. These seem to be quite pigment dense, so more color would have been better, but let's see if I can just lift it on one corner now. Yes, it's still liftable. And this one is completely dry, but because it's watercolor, you can move some of it still. This is a very, very rich color, so also super staining. But at least we have a gradient now, which I think looks a lot better. So that's another thing you can do. Sometimes if you go just heavy-handed with your mixes, you can lift a little bit of color and, you know, give yourself more options. And so this looks quite beautiful to me. And what I will do is I will wait for these to dry, and then I would then proceed to the next step of my illustration, because I feel this is like a warm-up, you know, you're just getting yourself into the movement, into the color mixing, into the play, and you're getting ready for the actual illustration. So in the next tutorial, I'll show you basically how to use these colors in a face. And then I will also show you how to create a pose with stamping it out in a bigger journal. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. And as a matter of fact, let me just quickly title them, and then hopefully they'll dry a bit more, and I'll give you a nice close-up of these beautiful colors. Okay, so things are dry now, and I can bring it a bit forward to show you the colors. Aren't they beautiful? They're almost dry, but that will do. The granulation from Birn Sienna created beautiful, interesting granulation in the mix. And that's what I said before, if you use more opaque colors or if you use more granulating colors, it really can create some interesting mixes. So same thing here, the opaqueness from Turner's yellow has created this creamy color. Alright, so that is it, and the lighting changes of course for today. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching and see you soon.